Hey, you tourists, it's your boy Domination. This is Back in the Basics. Joe Deuces, I would do text baby man of us back. You know what it is. The only place, 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 only place you're gonna get it, all the place, all the place, all the place you're gonna get it, all the place you're gonna get it is right back in basic. Joe Deuces, I would do text baby man of us back. You know what it is. Real men rise up, fake men rise down. Real women rise up. Fake women rise down. Breath the word, preach and preach on. And today's topic we're going to talk about is, I really want to speak about this. And Koreans call Obama monkey in hex a row. And Sun Sinro of North Korea called the President Obama monkey. And blaming the U.S. on the Saturday for shutting down the internet and amount of the hectometer row over the comedy interview. The Koreans have been denied an investigation in the cropper of the sort of attack on Sony Pictures and trying to explain the theory over the comedy is doing pit assassinate of its leader Kim Jong-il, and Sony is probably and call it all to release of critics to threat of the terror attack against the U.S. and the movie theater. Obama criticized of Sony the decision the movie had been opened this week on Saturday that North of powerful National Defense of Commission. The country is atop of the government body led by Kim, and says that Obama was behind of the release of the interview. It's the declarement that the movie as a movie as illegal and dishonest and reaction. Obama's always rigorous in his words and the deed like a monkey into treatment of forest, and to absolute unidentified spokesperson at the commencement of the police policy department says in the statement carried by the office of Korean Central News agent. This is not the first. North Korea has been cruel insults against Obama and other top of the U.S. and South Korea and offered into the early this year. The Koreans called the U.S. a secret citizen of the state of John Kerry a wolf with hidden in the jaw and with relented jaw, and the South Korean president is environment and the May and the North as the agent is to publish this patch that said Obama have a shape of a monkey. Wow. And Associated Press, this photo released by Sony and Columbian Pictures shows that John Rackroyd and Lev and Damien and the Seven Rhaegar as the Aaron in the scene from the Columbian Pictures interview. ADV Photos, Columbian Pictures, and Eddie Vladimir. This is the fizz of the Comsit Commission and also and the as oh, excuse me, I'm kind of tired, but as the medical cause of Washington from the interested of outrage of North Korean and web news and websites this week. What happened? What happened after U.S. had promised to to respond to Sony to hacks, and the U.S. government has declared declared to say if it was behind the shutdown. And there it was no in any rate was reaction from the White House on Saturday. And according to the North Koreans and the commissioner spokesperson, the U.S. is a big country started to disturb of the internet of the operation of the of major media of the DPRK, not just a shame like a children playing tag. DPRK, and referred to the Korean as the office of the name Democratic People of Republican Koreans, and the commissioner says that this movie was an insult of the hostage of U.S. policy towards North Koreans and threaten the U.S. with the unexpected of circumstances. And Korean and U.S. remains as a technician in the state of war, but is between because in the 1950s and in 53. Korean's war was ended as the armies of this not a peace treatment. The rivalries unlocked is an international standoff over the North nuclear and the missile program and its victim of human rights abuse. U.S. of the nation is about 28,500 troops in the South Koreans and the defense of against North Korea outrage. I'm gonna tell you like this, man, and perhaps a bit of waiting in line to see the interview as the Makimo of Village movie theater and Thursday, December the 25th. 2014 in New York, and the film Christmas Eve release was canceled by Sony after a threat of violence by the hacks and linked to North Korean. But I'm gonna say to this, man, I'm not surprised, man. I'm not surprised when people say calling Obama a monkey. Let's look at the definition of monkey, shall we? Shall we? Let's look at the monkey. Let's look at the definition of the word monkey. Let's look at the definition of monkey. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised that it's gonna get worse. And I'm gonna tell you something. They should never release this goddamn movie. And now they've been a green light assassinate this president. No. It's gonna be so many risks and somebody's blood in their hands. I want nothing to do with this. And it's sad that all it's doing is destroying North Koreans countries and destroying the United States. But it's gonna be an all out war. Oh yeah, it's gonna be an all out war. It will never be peace between the Koreans and America. It just won't. And the same thing goes to Russia. I tell you, man. I tell you, let's look. They call President Obama a monkey. A monkey, man. That's the first thing they want to call a black person, a damn monkey. When people say monkeys, here it is. Let's look at the definition of the word monkey. Let's look at the definition. Let's look at the definition of this word. Here it is when people say monkey. And that's the first thing they want to call black people this. And they will do it in a minute. Shit, there's fucking white monkeys. So what the hell they're talking about? That really pissed me off when you hear this a lot. You hear that the first thing they want to call somebody or black people a damn monkey. They always prefer. You know what? You know what they believe? They believe in this theory that black people was being created out of monkeys. See, whites really believe that, Any white person that think like that, you are ignorant to think like that. Because all race of people ain't come from no damn monkeys. Because if that's the case, they got a goddamn show called Hey the Goddamn Monkeys. I mean, it's funny. It's funny when people say this. See, this is what monkey. A small, medium-sized, private mate that is a primate of the long tail and the kind of the which in living in the tree in private in the countries. And plow of the drive of a machine instead of a heavy armor and ram the work and value into a groove. Here it is. Behave in a silly or playful way. That's what monkey means. When people say monkey, don't buy this mythologic race this theory. Let's go back to scientific racism, because that's where the problem came from. They divide whites and blacks. They did it since day one. And I'm not surprised the United Nations are the ones created this. They put whites to make them think, oh, let's put white people think they're superior, because reality, they're really not, because there are non-whites up in that motherfucker. Just like there are non-blacks. But you know what's so funny about this? See, there comes to show you, they don't want to see other races come together. They don't want that. That's their main objective. That's their main fear. And the reason why they don't want to see other races come together, because they're afraid it's going to decrease out their bloodline. And they're afraid of that. That's why they say the stuff they say. Because if it wasn't, what else is it going to be? What else is it going to be? See, whatever his name is, Martin Luther King wanted to mingle with other races. You never hear this of a white person or an Asian person or a Latino person trying to come together other races. But why is it that in the black community, we're the only group of people talk like that? See, that tells me we need to wake up and we need to understand these people talking about they want to kill our asses. They knew we're not serious enough. We think that we live in this colorblind society. They think we're all human. They think we're all the same. If we're human, if we're all the same, then why they come up with this scientific racism? They're trying to say, let's divide about whites and put them in groups. And that's what they did. They broke them in two different places and put them in three groups between the Aryan, Hamitic, and Shemitic. I put a video out and you can look this up in yourself. And then you got the cleaner whites, the preferred to them is dirty whites, and you got European stock that mixed with Mongoloids. See, it's funny. It's funny. One German on one end and other one is non-German. See, that's funny, is it? They knew what they were doing. They did the same thing to the black community. That term African American, when you hear that term African American, ask yourself, what does that mean when people say African? African Americans ain't African. So how can any black person, then where are the damn slave boats that brought us over here? Is it true there were white people who were slaves before blacks? See, somebody's lying. This whole thing is just something that whites were made up. And you know the sad part about this, we by ourselves and we think that we got friends. We don't got no goddamn friends. We need to get that through and logic in our head. We don't have no damn friends. We by ourselves. And yet, when we think that Obama, when he got in there, everything's going to change. I don't think like that, because I knew this. I thought it might get better. But then something hit me, and they talking about, yes, we can. I say, no, we can't, because we still got some issues that going on in this whole entire country. They look at people come from two different language. They look at different skull shape, different certain nose, certain lips, certain ears. They judge on people that, and it's always a damn eye color. It's always a damn color of hair texture of the hair. It's always that. If it's not that, what else is going to be? See, they came up with these damn terms right here. This is what caused this damn problem, this scientific racism bullshit. And they came up with this, putting the white is seeing something that's honorable and goodable, and see something black as horrible and honorable. You believe that bullshit? Some of these white motherfuckers need their ass whooped to really believe that, because back then they called them monkeys too. It's funny. It's fun. I had to laugh. I had to laugh because it's really fun. But they've been discriminated as well. And we know better as black people because we've been discriminated also. Nobody shouldn't discriminate anybody. If you're a racist, you're part of the goddamn problem. You feel like, well, these people got to be look identified or look identified like me. Look at this. Look at this bullshit. They came up with this damn term. They came up with it. United Nations came up with this damn term, scientific racism. That explains why there's so much problems over there in Germany and Nazi Germany. And a lot of people don't know the term Nazi that comes out of fake Jews, and they use this to the advantage of a German people. Germans killing other Germans right along with Zionists and the damn Nazi. I mean, it's really funny. It's really fun. And what started all this damn racism, them damn terms like Caucasian, African American. Next thing you know, it's going to be damn Hispanic and then Native American. You see what I'm talking about? It's all bullshit. And people still actually believe this. Fuck this scientific racism bullshit. It's just a scientific automatic. It's bullshit. We need to look at each other as humans. If we're going to talk about we want to get along and mingle with everybody, we better make sure other races going to do the same. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. Here it is. With history, minimum and graphical and language and mythology and archaeology and race subjects. And public of labels, the scientific racism is criticized the study and claim interposed that into an incommon between, for example, race and intelligence, and argued that to promote that the idea superior, inferior, and human race. Yeah, they did that. They did this. All other races. You got white people don't even like each other, and you know that what's so funny about that? It's funny. They did the same thing to black people with this light skin versus dark skin. I mean, are you really serious? Next thing you know, you got Latinos and Asians the Asians don't like each other. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. This whole racism is fucking bullshit. I don't believe a word of it because all racism is one other race and thinking they superior to the other and make everybody fear to it and make them feel like they can't be superior to that race. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. And they need to get at the people who created this kind of nonsense and what caused this damn problem in the damn first place. They divided us group. That's why it's so much problem. Look at this. The belief that excuse me, I'm sorry about that. The belief that all members of each races possessing of the charismatic and the monocle of the special matter to that race, or perhaps of the soul that is also disturbingly is as inferior or superior to another race or race. Prejudice, integration, and management and directing and against of a person of a different race based on the belief that one own race is superior. And it's the program to combat to racism, racial discrimination, racism, racial prejudice, and axiomatic and submathematical and bigot and cosmetic, as Aboriginals are the main victims of racism in Australia. And who they talk about? The Aboriginals. And they've been treated like shit down there. And Australia people owe it to them. They owe it to them because they know what it's like. But many of them don't give a damn. There's a real reason why they hate black folks. There's a real reason why. Because it gave all the birth of humanity, and it started all the way from Africa. It was about 300 or maybe thousands of years ago. Some people say that. But explain, they need to be ashamed of themselves because they telling them, oh, we ain't one of you. What? They let these evangelical Babylon mystery schools that gonna tell us that who the fuck you are. Don't be fooled. Because once they gonna start turning on you, you gonna look like a goddamn fool. See, white folks, man, I don't hate them, but they keep on fucking with people. But when somebody fuck with them back, they get angry. And we do the same thing as black community. We fuck with so much people just for to make the person look bad, make it seem like we don't know what they're talking about. Look at this. Do they look like they black to you? Look at that. And it's sad those people right there have been treated like shit down there in their own damn country. It's really sad, man. It's really sad that you know, this scientific racism did a lot of damage. And because of that, they owe it to these people. They owe it to Africans. They owe it to all that. If it wasn't for the Aboriginal people and over there to Africa, to all the way to India, to Australia, to all the way to Asia and Europe, and all the way to South America and North America. Don't tell me about that bullshit. These people are lost their goddamn minds. And it's funny, they say they don't like blacks, but yet they wear the color black. See, that's something that people need to look at. That's something that people need to look at. It's funny, they say they don't like black, but yet you wear the color black. That's something I don't understand right there. You hate black, but you wear the color black. That's crazy right there. See, this is the real Nazis. They took this damn name and they use it. A lot of people don't know right here. And it says right here. And that is sad, is it? See, that'll show you right here. Here it is. And Dutch anti-Semitic. Did you know the word Nazi come from communists? Whatever you want to call them. And Nazi? Yeah. And the court case of the anti-Semitic comment in the Holland last week, when the Jews decided to fight back, the truth is stranger than a fact. Faculty. Thursday, last Tuesday, August the 17th, Damana D. Kiko is stand trial for the Holocaust and and anti-Semitic. And Demonica is the former lawyer who has been bombing the Dutch public with the dairy articles and dedicated to Holocaust and deny, and the vital example for anti-Semitic through his three websites invented Twitter. A couple of years ago, D.B. Economy was convicted twice for stalking and threatening for former Dutchman Prime Minister James Peter and Bacon are right now, as DK is the biggest producing of the Holocaust deny and anti-Semitic and Ida Lynn. Because if you don't know what Ida Lynn means, it's another word for the Neanderthals. A lot of people don't know that, but it is. White people are the Neanderthals. And after of the complaint and the file from the Dutchman of seek there as. Let me see. I'm sorry about that. I just. People are dying. I'm sorry about that, folks. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to read right as much about this. I'm just stopping it, but I'm here it is. Okay.
Constructive way. It's just showing out for your white benefactors, and that.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. That's just a video right here. Okay, after a complaint after complaint filled by detriment of C clap of hate and Burma is MDI is the Center for the Information and the Documentary of Israel CIDI and the detriment of Jews publishment of the corporation and the public repos of this and decided to take the decent to court, and they set a court and convicted quite a few months ago because of previous comments about online anti-Semitic by MDI and CIDI to seem like to be a slow learner. And the trial before the trial before the court into Amsterdam started and stopped. D. Carney was wearing a T-shirt with "I love Jews," and quite a few against the Zionists on the back. And challenged in the courtroom and brought him in and asked the impertinent juror and Mr. Carnival and Vladimir as the production if his name was Kerman, and his answer was negative. He want to know if the other members of the courtroom are Jews or origin, and the Carnival as after he told him I have no idea. And absolutely under temperament of the government proof that the courtroom was based upon of the Jewness was not successful, but it's an incident and requirement and to set the tone that the young woman in two backpacks with the books and the paper with him through the season, which is the hostile and abused, perhaps in towards the president, and unlike to the freeze and bus, and towards those who have to fill out the complaints. And his next attempted to drag out the season from the last of the moments and the requested of the call from the numbers of witnesses and the on the MDI and the greedy wild and gentleman and element of Fredman of the CID and gentlemen and PM and gentlemen of hair and the probably and shadow is the former MDI directors and the British of Rabbit Aaron of the Kurdman of the narrative of and Kidman as the small anti-Zionist as the select and the act select the act. I'm sorry about this. I'm just tired of that. Got tired. Okay, it's kind of messed up. Sorry about that. All right. Okay. Where is it? And acted in England and New York City and directed as Alan Fred and Ernest Nyman of the Jews of the reporter of the corporation and the last but not as less and a woman he had to meet in a way who is a Jewish origin. It's afraid of Zionists. For all to requote of reject as the pronouncement at the court to believe that both it was been too short of a day and it's not important for enough. Why do they need to have to witness that he could not really make it clear? I discussed those things for those people would find out of their motives and prominent to me, he claims. for neither of 3 hours, and the judge questioned that this defensive about his statement and to public with these respect to the Jews and the Holocaust with the perhaps of the in 10 minutes and to defend his theories and only make it matter for worse for himself and to an philology of madness and from defeating the Jews the Jews of themselves caused of the Holocaust. Only in any case of in the Zionists, which is there are no Jews but Nazis. The Holocaust did not happen, but if it did, there from quite a few people killed, then 6 million, and Theodore and the enemy and citizen all programs. The Rothschild are in the finances, IG and Fairbairn as the Adam G's and the Zenman as the Constantine Jews want to colorize and the pedicities and they before they promoted anti-Semitic from the French Revolution on and the Canadian Jews are not real Jews. It's because there are not descendants from the real Jews. As the and Southern Harmsmen Zionists are not religion. They are not even real Jews. Oh man, I hate when they do this. I'm sorry about that. It just messing up. It just messed it up. I'm really sorry about that. I'm really gonna read this. I don't know why it's do that because it's messing up. Okay, I'm gonna fix this though. Okay, here it is. Okay, and then the hardest and the Zionists are not even religion. Therefore, they are not real Jews. The Holocaust is the concept with the Kabbalah. I figure it was, which is the stated after the Holocaust, where the Jews had to be divine and could be taken and possessed of the Pakistanis. There's the Jews themselves saying that that crucify of Jesus Christ is their fault. The Holocaust was the concernment and performing by Jews on Jews. Zionists built the settlement of was many Jews who are murdered are not Jews. Because Jews are not a race but a religion. My and publicmen are an interested of the public debate. He as me is since no one knows all about this, the court is confused and predominantly is confused and justice by and to the general is the confusion and so it goes on and Deuteronomy that says that it says that even the Zionists of the CIDI and the MDI, they realized that my site was not anti-Semitic. And to top it off, he wanted to share the idea that the word Nazi, the Nazi really come from as the Nazism to the justice of reapply in the innocent. I always thought that I always thought that Nazis can perhaps lead of the National Socialists. Yep. And exactly as the giggle, is a giggle note that couldn't be. It could have had to be not so, and of course that the defeat of the Interpol that when he wrote Jews, he really meant Zionists. With the asked by the judge, why did he stick with the use of the Zionists he said, could it be in the report of the reading ability? And then finally, the pro that it could start to read as in the statement. She did it this quickly and chronically, soon as the judge is already discussed the most part of the incident and expectedly of the amount and the amount of the threats against the Parliament and sentencement were rejected, and since the Parliament was have to written that adjustment, and could it be that it's slaughtered as a pig into a legal sense, which is the and metro, which is a metro. However, she decided as well as to prove that amendment and the judgment and gentlemen and proximate were insulted in any of cosment as the in offered as offensive manner as the expected just to assault and the in enemy rank on the other counts into the incident and publicly assault the Jews because their race and perhaps it declared of these is guilty. She is devoted as the influence of the Academy website on young people, and the website which she is declared as fully that approved and based on an allegation insult and in the white in the Catholic influence. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with this. I'm gonna look this up again. Okay, Okay, where is that? Okay, where is that? I'm sorry about this, people, because I'm trying to read this thing because it really pissed me off when I saw that because it showed me right there. Okay, here it is. She is of the divided website on young people, in which is the declared to prove that basically allegation and insult and as the case that an influence on those on society is very negative. More than ever, that she is in these was clearly for her to give permit lawsuit against the defeatment and in the sense of the anti-integration of legalment is the word is making it integrated in his program or a business. As much as a penny of the president as the claim that is for filter of the two laptop and two PC, and one is hard disk and constant during of the search of the gentleman's house and 100 hours of the community service and to spend a jail term of 1 month with the perhaps of the period of 3 years. It was turned to take the 4 and again to prove in rediment that the judge the judge who did his own defense and has the full into his acclaimment and the judgment and that is the right is it could get 3 months from for a plea. The same time that he could have been in perhaps to the Brethren and Mr. Carterman as the add and so that I hate when it do that, man. It's like it always do this. Sorry about that. It's always do this. Let's read this, man. Okay, let me hurry up and read this. because it's going to mess up. In 1 month, as it probably in period in 3 years. Okay, it was then been a turn to take the war and prove and again to prove to the enemy that the Lord who did his own defense and has a full of a climate, and the judge in this right is that these white to get three minutes of his plea. At the same time, it could have been it probably into Reedford and Mr. Dodd as add to the sense that everyone who that have been given more than 3 hours to trying to explain his idea, and the courtroom is very very genuine in this. Of course, indeed what is a 3 minutes about to the little. He claimed that he need more time to prepare and ask or provide the question on this case, perhaps enduring how much minutes he needs to regulate to and shortly retreat 3 hours or maybe even 3 days. I don't know. And the corporate opposition for 5 minutes and return with the decision that no delay. And the request has been denied. Again, D. Kiteman had been to argue even when he was getting louder and perhaps in yelling and screaming, and the court is trying several times to calm down, but it's useless. He turned around and point at the MDI and the stuff that sit into the audience, and they shouted, "They are the real criminals, Zionists. They're cheaters and liars." They and again, judge asked him if he wanted to start 3 minutes of his plea, and again during it was confused, it refused, and I want to challenge this court for perhaps as after it probably as they also can do anything more than say that can a challenge of the courtroom and could meet soon, and which is he is spending in the room as seasonment, and this the challenge count as the separate of a plea of the judges, and will me and the declarement if this the challenge to made of the made by the defense was just deserved, or perhaps in this meeting would take place in the next weeks if the judge decided there is no round from this challenge. Perhaps it looks like that way of the court against the Deasley. Deasley was in reign of consent from the MDI, perhaps of the serious complaint that they will file the start of the operated in the 1997, and the delay on the several way as probably of hundreds of ensuringly of the Holocaust denied and anti-Semitic on which is only 87 were filled in the law in this case and predictably and the liberal MP and legitimately and pleasing change and the Arab codes perhaps and generally to feel the separation of complaints for insult and threats, which is perversely addicted to this case. Will is the convent of this case help? Probably not. Typically is perceived as possessive and anti-Semitic, and it will and continue to publish if his filth, and if it's not necessary if it's necessary from jail. But this case like this is the warning to to others. If you want to post something to Holocaust deny and anti-Semitic, there are organizations that you will see to it. There is no consequence. It's going to see there are consequences. And Robert Lanzmann is the general of the directing of amendment of the founder of the which MMDI is the part. My whole point is this. See, when you read something like this, that's what the original Nazi came from these group of people. I mean, it showed me right there that we live in a world that, this world is like a damn circus, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. This world is like a damn circus sometimes. You feel like you in the circus. And let's go to damn Hitler. Yeah, whatever the name, Hitler. Because Hitler was really full of it. Hitler, and I mean, what's so funny about this guy that when I was watching Young Turks, they said Hitler was half a Jew and black African ancestry. I just couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it at first. I really didn't want to believe it. I really did not want to believe it at first. And I think he were black. I really was, but it just don't make any damn sense. Here it is. I mean, it's funny, but I will find it. So there was an article about Hitler and everything he did and stood for, but it was all bullshit. This whole thing about racism, all it is trying to divide each group and conquer other groups. That's all it is. That's all the hell it is. This whole thing. They did all these other races like that. And it's a damn joke. The whole thing is a damn joke. The whole thing is a joke. It really is. It's a joke. And I always have to wonder sometimes. We've been lied to for many years now. I will here it is. It might be it. I don't know for sure. I didn't want to believe that Hitler was not only he was a Jewish person and black person, even though he was Australian and German. Here, it's crazy. And claim that he Aryan. Okay, Hitler Jews DNA test that showed that directly maybe have a Jew and African roots. It says it right here. The story of Adolf Hitler could be the most twisted in all of history. Add to more of twists. To responsible for the slaughter of millions of Jews, and the hero only himself to vow to races. The DNA and DNA test and absolutely that shows that the word obviously showed that the Jew dictator was maybe have some Jew and African ancestry. Seven media outlet to report of the result of the postman on last week into document in a magazine in Berlin. And the British magazine Daily Photographer says that the amount of it, a sample were collected up from the 39 Hitler relatives. Damn. And Chronometer some to the call this an absolute and happened a logger group and to even the environment one shows which shows up into their sample is the rank in the Western Europe and the most and uncommonly found into barbarity of the Marlborough and Abzero and the Turmoil as well as along as the Kidneys and the Jew, and to perhaps the enemy lobby group, which amount for the element is 18 to 20% of antibiotic nuts, and 8.6% of to 30% of condiment hardment. Why and the Cordovan son and perhaps to be one of the most major founders of the agement of the Jew population. Many of the victims of Hitler Holocaust is like Frank, Aunt Frank, or the monument Jew, and another British paper is the Sun is identified more of the people involved and how to the sample or photographer was working for a magazine and perhaps Burton management to get hold of the sample from the Alex of the Stewart of Houston, 61, a grand nephew of Hitler's that live in America, and picking up at the settlement had to drop, and the report of the Jan Poles manually to use to the serve of the history or monument is visited to the found Hitler of Australia cousin and the farmer called Robert Rob H and 39 other relatives of the fundament, and the Robert H is received of the giving to the number a simple. Hitler did not be Hitler should not be happy if he is as Professor Robert and they go into Google Translate of the announcement of web of the view of the story, and other way will in the graphic of from the economy of the King Economy University Evaluation as the Vincent of Research of University says that Hitler predominantly is an Aryan, which is the Nazi could be a pure, but is not. Research has been declared with the respect which is the group that Hitler made it descended from. And Hitler's perhaps made of ancestor included his own caused the cause of the displacement for years, and New York Daily in news points that is this research could be evaluated of history myth. Hitler ancestors has been called into question before, with some written credited of his grandfather was a Jew. But this is the first claim had many scientific data to prove, to submit a debate to support, and some rate of the reporter has been made against an Iran President Mohammed Mossadegh and Abu Ghraib, who has reported and denied the Holocaust and to report as the bashing Israel. Says the not that Russia is posted an article from Hitler that could interpret his DNA that research could be ending of the dispute of if they are allowed to testament is the terms. You hear this? So it shows right there that Hitler, the evil dictatorship himself, Hitler got some Jewish in him and African roots. So what you got to say about that now? I'm going to tell you something else. This whole racism stuff that people talk about, it's all bullshit. And then instead of calling Obama a fucking monkey, on top of that, I'm going to show you right there. This whole racism shit that people talking about, it's all bullshit. I don't believe a word of it. Because if that's the goddamn case, That's the first thing. You know why they call black people monkeys? Because they trying to say that we reevaluate and reevaluate with monkeys. But it's funny, they're white monkeys, just like they're black monkeys. Now it might be true they got the animal certain regiment and animate of a certain animal part and certain human animate of human parts. If you don't get what I'm saying, basically people communicate with animals, animals communicate with human. Animal sense and human sense. You could say that, but that's why people always say they identical as animal parts and human parts. That's why they say this stuff. I mean, it's funny. Give me your comments, give me your video response, because instead of they want to call black person a damn monkey, that's the first thing they want to call black person a damn monkey. That's the first thing they want to say. But you got to ask yourself, why do they say that? Because they know they came out of black folks. You got to ask yourself all this time. So it had to be true. There's a real reason why they hate black folks. But tell me what you think of this issue, that instead of the North Korean calling a damn monkey man, it just showed me that, you know, it's crazy. It shows that right there, and called John Kerry a wolf is hidden. I mean, it shows right there it's going to be an all-out war real soon. And you watch what I tell you. When nothing expect anything to happen, and they're going to come at the black community. If they come at everyone, better be prepared for it, folks, because things going to be all right. Things going to be offset, because people need to get off of this whole derograph and dreadomath or pyramid, because people fall into the lead of the slaughterment of people and slaughterment this sled. Oh, God help us all, man, to get us through. And that's all I got to say about that. It's your boy Domination. This is Back of the Basics. Y'all to do this is how we do text, baby. Until next time, all right? All right. Peace, and I'm out.